Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. As always, likes, comments, and subscriptions are appreciated. Thank you all very, very much for the support on the channels. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. And yeah, let's jump right into it. The son, the news is going to get kind of weird. The son of popular American rapper Snoop Dogg, apparently his name is Champ Medici. I don't know if that's his son's actual name, but for the sake of it, sure, they're calling him Champ Medici, has released new music on Cardano. Yeah, in collaboration with popular NFT project Clay Nation. In total, 3 new music tracks were released exclusively to Baked Nation. Wow, NFT holders. Baked Nation is a virtual land and clay animation collaboration between Clay Nation, Champ Medici, and Snoop Dogg himself. So I know that on Twitter, Snoop Dogg goes by Cosmo Medici. That's his crypto alter ego, if you will, who's obsessed with buying NFTs. I've never heard of a claymation metaverse. That sounds like it could be kind of interesting. And here's the tweet for it right here with clay mixtapes. The 3 tracks are called Manifest, Lil Flexin, like it literally says Lil Flexin, and Ada Dreams. And together form the Clay Nation Tapes Volume 1. These 3 tracks describe Champ Medici's cryptocurrency experience and include rhymes on his dreams of prospering with smart contract platform Cardano and a skit with Snoop Dogg talking about crypto assets changing the world. On the Manifest track, Champ Medici states he isn't selling his digital currency holdings and is also not going to be paying close attention to the news in order to not be dissuaded from his decision to hodl onto his funds. There's a reason why it's called News I Missed. Yeah, so, what? That's interesting news. I knew that Snoop Dogg was into it, but now apparently his son is also there as well. I don't think Snoop Dogg has ever given like an actual allegiance to any particular blockchain, but he has mentioned Ethereum and Bitcoin and Cardano multiple times. So yeah, if you are a Cardano and ADA believer, your blockchain's getting used more. I don't know the numbers on these things, how many of them there were, how many NFT tracks they dropped, but yeah. So I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to look and see if is Clay Nation already a metaverse? It says virtual land. So I'm going to look it up because is it like Gumby? Ooh, can you like mold yourself into different things because you're clay? Okay, I'm going to shut up now. That's the Snoop Dogg's son, Champ Medici, has released music on Cardano. News. Yeah. Let's move on. Also I don't know why this was so popular. I mean, I get it, but sure, why not? News. Kraken, a leading crypto exchange, says that the founder and current CEO Jesse Powell is giving up his CEO role and becoming chairman on the board of directors. That sounds fancy. According to Kraken's press release, Dave Ripley, who has been the COO for the past 6 years, wow, will become the CEO once Kraken has completed its COO search. Oh, gotcha. I was like, what? They already found one. Powell said, Dave's proven leadership and experience gave me great insights that he's the ideal successor and the best person to lead Kraken through its next era of growth. I look forward to spending more of my time on the company's products, user experience, and broader industry advocacy. And then Ripley was like, cool, I love the money, I can't wait, Kraken's amazing, and all that other stuff. So for some reason, like I said, I get it. But what? This was one of the most popular news stories when this was released. We do not normally hear about Jesse Powell. I think he's one of the more unconfrontational cryptocurrency people in the space. Like, we always hear like Vitalik screaming at someone, Hoskinson screaming at someone. Garlinghouse a long time ago used to also be like a little, like, you know, he's reeled it kind of back in, but we never ever really get news from Jesse Powell. So it's like, we know that he's there, but he's like a silent person, at least from what we've seen. And now he's leaving as CEO, but he's going to be going onto the board of directors. And a lot of the news that was coming out was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. He's been around for so long. What will he do with himself now? And I just assumed he got tired of being the CEO, but he's now on the board of directors. So like, he still has a gigantic say in it. A lot of the news made it seem like he was going to go live in a forest somewhere. Like, he was just like, you know, all right, guys, I'm completely done. But sure. So he's still rich. He's still popular and powerful. He's still going to be with Kraken. And I assume he still has his crypto. So yeah, once again, third time, I get it. But it was like, sure, let the man be. Let them live their lives as a board of directors. And there's a very inspirational photo for those of you not looking at the screen. It's a photo of someone standing at the precipice, at the edge of a gigantic rock as they look onto the horizon. So I guess that's supposed to be him living his life. Not really sure. That's the Kraken. Jesse Powell will no longer be CEO, but he's still going to be powerful. News. Yeah. Let's move on. The air's so dry here. Oh gosh. Okay. Also in the news, Binance, one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world, has announced its expansion plans for Brazil. The exchange will open 2 new offices in the country and have 150 employees who will be able to choose if they want to work in office or remotely. Whoa. What? Binance is living in the year 2022? That's crazy. What? I had so many friends who had to fight. I mean, literal Mortal Kombat with their employer to be like, can I please work at home? All I do is sit here on a computer. I can do everything from my couch. And it took like 6 months to get an answer. But I mean, also, Binance also used to not have physical locations because, once again, they're living not even in the future. They're just living in the present. We already live in the future. But regulators were like, you can't do that. You need to have a physical location. I'm sure that's not how they sounded, but that's how I imagine the whining usually goes. The company also hinted at the launch of a debit card. Whoa, a debit card from a company. That's crazy. LATAM countries like Brazil are becoming more and more important for cryptocurrency exchanges all over the world due to the boom that crypto is experiencing within the region. For those of you who missed the last year and a half, Brazil's on it. There's no, we're going to wait. We're going to see what happens. Paperwork, it's going to take 6 years. No, they are ready to go. They announce, hey, it's February. We're thinking about doing something. By April 1st, they're like, it's signed. You know how many companies have moved to Brazil? Especially cryptocurrency companies. It's kind of staggering. I'm side eyeing the United States. I don't understand why the US still hasn't gotten it together, but Brazil is it. When it comes to crypto, everyone is moving there. They've made everything legal, everything so and so. They got all the regulation down packed, and it took them, 13 months to really get it together. Binance has recently announced it will open 2 new offices within the country. However, according to reports, employees will have did I not just read that? I read that. The 2 new offices, which will be located in Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, obviously, will reportedly be shared co-working spaces with the function of supporting the growing number of Binance employees in Brazil. While at the beginning of the year, the company had only 60 employees, the number is now 150. While Binance has been affected by compliance issues with local laws in several countries, The exchange is currently making efforts to achieve compliance in Brazil. I'm pretty sure they have multiple. The news before, if you can believe it, was that Binance got multiple pieces of paperwork that they needed for Brazil. And this is why they're kind of like, because it didn't take years to get it. Bit license. So cool. Unsurprisingly surprising news. Binance is constantly expanding. Regulators before, if you weren't here, thank your lucky stars. I mean, these people were breathing down the necks of Changpeng Zhao as if like he should physically take brick and mortar and build their physical locations. So now they have physical locations. They have paperwork everywhere. And you notice how like regulators no longer hate Binance? Idiots. Like, it's just paperwork. Like, I don't understand. Like, you don't need a physical location. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the point is, yeah. Good job, Binance, on your expansion. I'm still wondering why Gemini doesn't do anything, or why they, and I get it. People have told me before, Gemini is a great exchange. They have great customer service. That's wonderful. But doesn't it seem a little weird that Binance is the only one expanding? Like, even Coinbase is slow now. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why? Do you want them to have all the money? I'm not really getting it. Anyway, that's the Binance. Two offices. That's more than one. In Brazil news, phantasmagorical. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in the news, and I'll explain this a little bit as well, a United States judge has ordered Tether to prove what backs its stablecoin as part of a market manipulation lawsuit alleging USDT artificially inflated crypto prices. Judge Catherine Polk-Failla, that is Failla, in a Tuesday court order, asked Tether to produce undoubtedly important documents relating to the assessment of Tether's backing with US dollars. The court believes the evidence is necessary to substantiate Tether's claims of making a treasury that fully backs its stablecoin. Welcome back to 2017, everyone. Tether was the first stablecoin. People did not realize that they could make stablecoins and then got upset with Tether after they realized that they should have made a stablecoin first. A lot of coins launched as normal coins. And one of the main problems that people had in 2017, or so the rumors go, was that people alleged that Tether was simply printing Tether at will and using it to buy up Bitcoin, therefore allowing Bitcoin's price to go up and more people to get into the market, and that they were printing all of this Tether from nowhere. The people from Tether were like, no, it's definitely backed by something, and we can show you evidence. And everyone was like, Boulder Dash, that's a complete lie. You definitely have nothing backing it. So I think they had like 3 different audits. I think the first 2 were companies that they hired, and then the third one was from another company. And there were a whole bunch of things going back and forth. The original idea was that the entirety of, from what we learned, the entire original idea was that the entirety of all the Tether was backed by US dollars. And they said, no, it's backed by some US dollars, some yen, some euro. They said they had multiple investors around the world who were giving them money. They also, I think, produced real estate deeds and other things like that, and other assets that, equated to the amount of Tether that they had. And this was around the time when Tether was being listed everywhere. And I told everyone, here's my opinion. I feel like the largest cryptocurrency exchanges, though they may add many other garbage coins, which I would call them, at their own discretion and will, I would assume that, as many other exchanges, the big ones, tend to stay away from anything that may be relatively, I'm going to use the word toxic. I assume that before they listed Tether, they researched into Tether to make sure that Tether was actually real. I would find it very weird if Kraken, Coinbase, what's the other one? Binance had all listed a coin that had no actual backing. We've seen the scrupulous amount of, what's the word? Digging through, picking something to be like, oh my gosh, this coin is terrible. We can no longer list it on the crypto exchange, and then it ends up getting delisted. So by all accounts, it's been 3 years now since all the scrutiny began that Tether is probably backed by something. Hear me out. Cool. Got it. The news continues to be, and this is mainly because, pay attention, because nothing is by accident. Didn't it seem a little weird at the beginning of the year when all the stable coins were losing their peg out of nowhere? We've had stable coins for almost 6 years now. Almost 6 years. And in the course of a 2-month period, nearly all of them were shaking and losing their peg. It doesn't make a lot of sense. That took place because of some organization, some company, some bank, or some country behind the scene. Mainly because, remember the news that we got after that? It was stablecoin regulation. We need to regulate stablecoins. How many banks came out saying that they wanted to make their own stablecoins? We're getting news about the US dollar supposed to be digitized very soon, or making a central bank digital currency. Same exact thing with the digital euro and the digital pound and the digital yen. What? That seems crazy, right? Why would stablecoins also be under attack, and then everyone's screaming stablecoin regulation, and then all governments are talking about releasing their own stablecoins? I'm sure they're not correlated at all. That was a lie. Of course they're correlated. So now we've gotten back to 2017, where there's a lawsuit somewhere where someone's being like, oh, Tether, finally reproduce documents to tell us exactly what's going on. I hope they just give them the documents soon so we can kind of get past this, because I don't understand. Wait, no, I understand why this is still a thing, but it basically has to do with not for the judge, if you will. It basically has to do with corruption. Behind the scenes, I told you all before. Listen to my words very clearly as possible. Banks cannot and will not offer you good interest rates right now. That is to say, when you leave your money with them in your bank account, you are not going to be getting 6% per year. That's not how the banking system works now. You are lucky if you get 0.25% on your bank account. Inflation is currently 8, 9 to 10%. You are losing money every single year with your money in the bank. On the flip side, companies figured out how to create a digital representation of paper currency. It's completely digital. There are no paper Tether anywhere. Tether, USDT, TUSD, ABCD, and all these other stable coins, many of them are able to give a very good return per year as on interest by simply holding these coins that banks cannot offer. Banks and governments don't like the idea of people making something, A, that they cannot control, or B, that looks better than what the crap that they're giving you. This is why we've seen so much backlash over the years over cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies move very quick. They move very fast. They are decentralized. Governments don't control them. You kind of get the entire point, and this is why we keep seeing this pushback, especially within the United States, because the US dollar is the world reserve currency. And if you have something like Tether or Coinbase dollar or Binance dollar or Gemini dollar giving any type of pushback on the US dollar, or people in the future even now realizing, why would I want to hold the US dollar when I can have a digital representation of it that is stable, that gives me 7 times as much interest, as 15, 20 times as much interest as I could get from having it inside of a bank account? Right. Exactly. See, oh yeah, I know. It's all completely insane. We live in a world where we don't need banks anymore, but we are used to using them because we've been told since we were all kids, this is how money works. The bank makes the money. You hold the money with the bank. If they give you some kind of interest, well, that's amazing. We've moved on from all of that, but 90% of the world still hasn't figured that out yet. So we will keep seeing major pushback. Also, don't forget the US SEC announced a couple of weeks ago that they want full control over every stablecoin that is based on the US dollar. It's all about control. The US dollar is constantly being challenged by many other countries, but also by crypto. We live in a world where right now we could live without the US dollar. Like, we could actually do it. But here we are. So anyway, yeah. always popular news. Anything with Tether always ends up. I think it's this weird fascination. I think after all these years, I think people want to see something wrong, but it's the same exact thing with people who are obsessed with celebrities. People want them to go through something wrong, something bad to happen to them so everyone can go, I knew it. It was way too good to be true. Do something else with your time in your life. So, sure. That's the Tether lawsuit documentation news. I assume by November, they should have produced enough documentation to show that they have a backing. One of two things will happen. Hear me out here. They either got it or they don't. If they don't got it, we'll simply go to other stable coins. And if they do, in about another year, someone else is going to try and sue them and be like, hey, show us the paperwork again. And it's probably going to be someone who's working for a government agency because logic doesn't work too well otherwise. That's the Tether news. Yeah. Let's move on. Rightio. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, or supporting the channels. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.